All right, how's it going, everybody? Brandon McCaskill here with Momentum Canada. This is our Momentum Monday segment where we just go live and talk to you people, you faithful followers and great supporters. I've had so much fun over these past few months interacting with you guys, and it's become a pretty close knit community. So if you're new here, I encourage you to subscribe, like this video, share this with your friends and your news feeds, and we'll get the show started here. So today we're talking about Twitter and the recent file dump from Elon Musk. Now, just bear with me while I make sure. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I can see your guys' comments, which, by the way, just feel free to. This is an open-ended stream. I'm not making predictions. I know the title of this video is "Will People Go to Jail Over the Twitter Files?" I certainly hope so, but I don't know for sure if anything's going to happen. So I would love to know what you guys think. Let me know your comments below. And so I'm going to share my screen with you. There's been just so much that happens. It seems every day Elon Musk is tweeting something else or revealing something else. So let's head on over to Twitter. If I can figure out how to do that. I'm working without a mouse today, guys, so I'm a little bit slower. But we'll get this. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, here we go. Share screen. And Twitter is what I want. Awesome. All right, so where should I start? Let's scroll up here a little bit. Most recent one. Okay, so he's letting the cat out of the bag with so much stuff here. It's hard to keep up. And I know there's like, he responds to people's tweets and there's like retweets. So everything's not in the same place, but I'm just on his main feed here. And I'm pretty new with Twitter, so I don't know exactly how everything works, but I've just kind of been reading what's been floating around my own social circle. So the last one I saw was this is the one that's kind of getting him in a lot of trouble. My pronouns are prosecute Fauci. Now there's just so many people responding, and there's let me see if you guys can see this as well. Hey Valerie, how you doing? Good to have you in the chat. Awesome. All right. This is why I need a tech guy or a tech gal. Honeycomb says they should go to jail, but they are evil and corrupt like Trudeau is in Canada. They will get away with it since all the judges and courts seem to be bought off. Yeah, well, the massive advantage here is Twitter is massive. There's a lot of eyes and ears paying attention to what's going on, and the mainstream media is trying to downplay it as not serious. But I think they're really, really struggling. So I wanted to share this. It was someone's response to his that tweet I just read. For some reason, okay, there we go. Yeah, so yeah. Sorry that you guys have to be so patient with me. There we go. Boom. All right, so this was in response to his "My pronouns are prosecute Fauci," which I got a good chuckle out of. This is Scott Kelly. He's saying, let me zoom in here. Elon, please don't mock and promote hate toward already marginalized and at risk of violence members of the LGBTQ plus community. They are real people with real feelings. Furthermore, Dr. Fauci is a dedicated public servant whose sole motivation was saving lives. And this is interesting because just this morning, I've been doing new pre-recorded videos this is my new studio, by the way. What do you guys think? I been covering different segments, just a couple minute videos, easy for people to watch and digest. But just this morning, I came out with a new video talking about this subject on what this guy is talking about, marginalized at risk of violence members, because that's a heavy accusation that I don't realize people like Scott Kelly are accusing us of. So what they're saying is if you disagree with someone, you're responsible for the bad things that happen to them. That I don't think that's, first of all, logically coherent. I don't think that's fair, and ultimately, I don't think it's right. So I dive into that in the video that I made this morning. So be on the lookout for that. But I just thought that was interesting that that seems to be the response from him, poking fun at uh, people's pronouns. But this was Elon Musk's reply. He says, "I strongly disagree. Forcing your pronouns upon others when they didn't ask, and implicitly ostracizing, or sorry, implicitly ostracizing those who don't is neither good nor kind to anyone." I agree with that. As for Fauci, he lied to Congress and funded gain of function research that killed millions of people. Not awesome. Now, I'm not going to dive into that just because I'm on my last strike with YouTube. If I come too close to that line, it's goodbye to the channel, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's interesting. Let me, yeah, pay attention to you guys. Valerie says, you will get quicker with practice. Yeah, this is a total new setup, new computer. So I'm still figuring things out. So I appreciate your guys' patience. But yeah, getting back to the response from the, yeah, okay. Yeah, I closed the wrong thing. It's still there. It's still there on Facebook. There we go. All right. Cool. Let's read what else Mr. Elon has to say here. Do. Boom and boom. All right, back on Twitter. So, yeah, that was his one tweet. He got a lot of backlash from. Then what else? Just some of the ones that stand out for me. Twitter speeding up. Man, this guy spends a lot of time on Twitter. Well, I guess if you owned it, I guess I'd be on Twitter a lot if I owned it. All right, I didn't mean to click that. So, yeah. So, oh my goodness. This guy is just so, he's a giant middle finger to the left establishment. They hate what he's doing and they're trying so hard. Like I just read an article from the Toronto Sun and the title was something along the lines of like the left just doesn't care. This is insignificant. Really? If this was anyone on the right that was being revealed in this way, man, CNN would be making a lot of money. That's for sure. So the hypocrisy and the double standard is, I mean, we expect it nowadays. But the fence riders, the people that aren't into politics, but they'll watch whatever's on at the airport or whatever their friends and family snuggle up closer to, like that's the type of media they listen to. Those are the people I'm always concerned about. It's like for the people that aren't so committed, like you guys who tune into grassroots movement channels, if you don't care too much, you're going to be duped into believing the narrative. And that's what they're always so reliant on, just the masses that, and I mean, we see that in perspective, even locally, like our last election, I forget what the percentage was, but not a lot of people voted. Like people just don't, it's either they don't care or they forget or they don't trust the voting system, whatever it is. There's a massive amount of people that just don't engage, which is sad, which is really, really sad. But yeah, sorry, your staff is broken. The bots are in for a surprise tomorrow. That was, what's the date today? The 12th? Yeah, so that was yesterday. Yeah, this guy posts on Twitter like 20 times a day. Twitter is both a social media company and a crime scene. Yeah, yep. Well, it's appearing to be. Yep. Now, I talked about this. I made a video last week talking about freedom of speech and kind of what Elon's after. And I tried to stay away from talking about freedom of speech in the context of this environment, because obviously I support the fundamental aspect of freedom of speech and how it's valuable even at this level, like an international level. But I do recognize and can appreciate the fact that there's probably got to be some rules in place. Like, it's not absolute freedom of speech. So I gave the example of the Taliban. I don't even know if the Taliban is still on here, but I knew they were a few years ago. That was kind of the comparison a lot of people use. Like, you got rid of Trump, but the Taliban can still be on there. So that was a thing. I don't know if they're still on there, but I don't know how that works. I don't know when it comes to national security or international security. I'm open-minded enough to say, you know what, not being a free speech absolutist, I can leave room for that. But what my video was focused on is like the local municipal, like my own neighbors wanting to silence my voice in different Facebook groups. And I was talking about the value of just letting everyone speak, getting all the ideas out there, even if you don't agree with them, get them out there so that we can make good decisions. Like if we want to vote for someone, if we want to buy their products or just associate ourselves in any way or fashion. Like, that's, to me, that's just the recipe for a healthy and thriving society, to have all the information and not be scared to share everything. Valerie says, yes, the double standards are becoming quite monotonous. They made us vote during COVID restrictions. The lines were so long, the polls closed down. Yeah, and that's a very controversial subject. I'm speaking locally, of course, with online voting. A lot of people, even a lot of people that align with a lot of my values and a lot of my political leanings, they see the value in the convenience of voting online. But obviously, I understand both sides. But what bugs me is the lack of effort to try to appease people's doubts about it. Like, you would think if you want to bring in this new system of making it efficient and easier for people to vote, if it were me designing this stuff, I would be showing everybody the back end. Like, this is why you can trust me. Like, I'm showing you behind the curtain. Nothing funny is going on. So just to see a lack of that is concerning for me. There's a disinterest in transparency, and I think that's where we go wrong. So, okay, so yeah, the Twitter Files Part 3, this Matt Tabi, I think he's on his, I think they're on Part 4. I could be wrong. If the Fed raises rates again next week, the recession will be greatly amplified. Good for Senator. Okay, cool. All right. There was something I wanted to talk about in regards to that one reply. I just have to read it again. Let me stop sharing that for a second. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I just forgot to take a second to say about this reply from Elon to that guy that was complaining about him mocking people's pronouns. Like, for me, when it comes to, because in Canada it's illegal to misgender someone if they prefer to be called Zer or whatever, because there's so many variations that they prefer to be called. Like, there's a person in my own local area that prefers to be they them. Like, that's getting very popular. I hear and see that all the time, but it doesn't even make logical sense. Like, grammatically, like, you never refer to someone in plural form. But for me, they can play that game all they want, because if I ever interact with those type of people, it's not a challenge for me, because just by natural conversation, you never address people by their pronouns. It's always their name. And if someone was born John and they changed their name to Sally, sure, I'll call you Sally. I don't have a problem with doing that. But I don't, this other argument of telling it's and it's not it's unique and it's different than them trying to silence you. It's them trying to tell you what to say. It's like the opposite, and that's kind of the area where Jordan Peterson got famous in, when it came to him being a professor and having to address his students indirectly. But yeah, when Elon says, I strongly disagree forcing your pronouns upon others when they didn't ask and implicitly ostracizing those who don't is neither good nor kind to anyone. Like I don't understand how anyone can expect to walk into a university class, no less. What, like the average population of a university class is what, over 100 people? And you expect that professor to abide by your perception of how you see yourself. That's contradictory of your biological reality. I think that's just, it's insane. It's ignorant to expect that of anybody. It's like me walking into a building and demanding people refer to me as cute and cuddly. Like that's grammar. That's what I just used were adjectives, and what they're demanding is pronouns. Like that's the same. They're in the same game. It's grammar. It's language. We don't get our own pronouns. We don't get our own adjectives. So that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, Valerie says, hey you there, it doesn't work anymore." Yeah, I mean, I would just call them by their name. That for me, that's the easy thing. But I understand that, like, there's people that do have to address people indirectly, like part of their job or whatever. My job is, and I don't have to. But you know what's so funny? Well, it's I find it funny, but at a local level, I have these same people, these woke folk. I call them woke folk. That's what they are. They demand their pronouns. They, them, z's, or biological female wants to be called male. But almost every time that they make headlines in our local newspaper or like a local article, the writer of the articles don't abide by their wishes. And I never see backlash over that. Like locally, I live in Sarnia. It's the Sarnia Observer. It's a very well known newspaper. And this biological woman wanted to be called them, they pronouns, but the whole article was saying he, she, her. So it's just like, there's they don't think twice about coming after me if I don't abide by it. But when it's published like that, I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of logic floating around these days, ladies and gentlemen, and it's difficult, and because they interpret that as being hateful and rude. I'm not trying to be hateful and rude. I'm trying to raise my son in a logical environment where he's looking out, he's trying to interpret the world, and I'm, as his father, telling him truth and facts and how to function in this society. And if we can't do that openly, if we can't have the freedom to do that, that's a scary, scary place. And unfortunately, that's the direction Canada is heading. Pretty sad. All right. Let me, I wanted to bring up, I got to find it again because, like I said, I'm new with this stuff and I accidentally closed the tab that I had open. So give me a second. Okay. So this is from December 2nd. Let me share my screen before I get too carried away. Valerie says, sorry, guys, I've been meaning to put your comments on the screen. There we go. Valerie says, the only ones who care seem to be the ones who want to be called a pronoun. Yeah. Well, to be honest, if you're talking to me, I don't want you referring to me in the third person. Like I want you to use proper grammar. That's what I would appreciate. I don't demand it, but I mean, especially as parents, like I'm trying to raise my son to, like, this is how you speak properly. Like we have language for a reason. It's a utility to function in society. But now I'm having to tell him that some people think it's okay to make words not mean anything anymore. And the English language is already hard to learn. We don't need to add incoherence to it. All right, so I'm going to share this. I didn't read the entire article this morning, but I was reading through it and I was just like, this is, it sounds to me like they're just trying to dodge this at all costs. This is the Toronto Sun. So this is the same, I believe this is the same newspaper a couple summers ago that said that on the front page posted a picture of, I believe the headline was vaccinated need to be left to die, or unvaccinated people need to be left to die, or something like that. It was horrible. So yeah, that's the type of angle they are. So Musk drops internal Twitter files on Hunter Biden laptop saga. Okay, so this wasn't the one that I was reading, but I will read this one just because I want to know what they're saying about this. New Twitter owner Elon Musk linked to a reporter revealing internal Twitter email exchanges on Friday night, detailing the response to a request from the Biden team, and indicated those on the left politically got preferential treatment to those on the right, according to the New York Post. Musk had teased earlier in the day what really happened with the Hunter Biden story suppression by Twitter will be published on Twitter at 5 p.m. Okay, cool. December 2nd, that was his tweet. What really happened? Yeah, that's what I just read. He also said it would be awesome, and then said they were doing some fact-checking. Musk later tweeted a link to the account of independent journalist Matt Taibbi, who was posting potentially redacted emails from Twitter employees. Taibbi said they were a series based upon thousands of internal documents obtained by sources at Twitter. Taibbi alleged slowly over time, Twitter staff and executives begin to find more and more uses for these tools. Outsiders begin petitioning the company to manipulate speech as well, first a little, then more often than constantly. He went on to mention the Biden team making requests and saying someone from Twitter replied, handled these. So he's indicating that there was these dialogues going on of, you delete this. All right, received. Like there was constant communication between people that probably shouldn't have been doing that. Taibbi, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Taibbi alleged Twitter staff took extraordinary steps to suppress the New York Post's Hunter Biden laptop story, removing links to the expose shared by users and posting warnings that they may be unsafe. Yeah, and a lot of you probably have read. Well, if you haven't, I encourage you just to go read them. But there was just they were trying to justify their actions by labeling this stuff as unsafe, and there was like even within Twitter employees saying like this is like not justified. You can't be doing this, and then and it ended up happening. Twitter and Facebook both took censorship measures against the Post when it first published its expose on the trove of emails discovered on Hunter's laptop in October 2020. Jack Dorsey, Twitter's former CEO, said during a congressional hearing on misinformation and social media in March last year that blocking the Post's report was a total mistake. Yeah. So in that same tweet that I had read before, Elon mentions, he says, as for Fauci, he lied to Congress and funded gain-of-function research that killed millions of people. Not awesome, in my opinion. So there's video evidence of that, like him saying one thing and then the truth coming out of it actually being true. So I don't know how I don't know how I do know how the left is suppressing this, because they do that at any opportunity, because it's all about votes. It's all about money, and there's nothing logically coherent with the Democratic Party or anyone on the far left. But yeah. Mike Mole says, if none of the criminals are punished for the COVID crimes, the Twitter crimes, or any of the other facets of the global conspiracy, what's the message? Yeah, well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. My hope is that this publicity finally, I mean, just a few months ago, we didn't have this kind of publicity. Like we were silenced at every turn. And I really, really think, and people have been like other YouTubers have been telling me this. They said, be prepared. Twitter is going to probably crush this platform. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing because Twitter needs to, or YouTube needs to take lessons from Twitter, the value of free speech, because just think how many users are on Twitter right now. Like the narrative is in our hands again. In many ways, at least it's 50-50. The other side is still like this platform is still censoring speech. Instagram, Facebook, there's still tech giants that still have a grasp on our voices, but for once we have a fighting chance here. Now, there's a lot of debate surrounding, can we trust Elon Musk, the guy who wants to insert stuff into our anatomy, inserting tech into our anatomy? Can we trust this guy? But so I have him at arm's length right now. I'm watching him like a hawk. I'm not swearing my allegiance to this guy by any means. Sorry, Mike, I'll throw your comment up on the screen there. Yeah. Yeah, so guys, if you just joined us, we were just talking about, I'm open to what you guys think of this Twitter release from Elon Musk, revealing a lot of some dark stuff that some powerful people were able to do. And obviously, I hope that's all we can really do in today's day and age, because I mean, I've had high hopes for things to happen in Canada, specifically surrounding the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and the last surviving architect of the Charter, Brian Peckford. And I mean, I was watching that case like a hawk every single day, just looking for updates for months and months, only to have it kicked to the curb and rendered moot. I thought it was just like a huge kick in the gut to Canadians' freedom and their freedom, their charter of rights. It was just very, very disappointing. So when I see good stuff happening, all I can really do is hope, pay attention, and keep doing my best to rally people around myself and stay on top of the narrative and bring as many people along as I can. Mike says this is a war of attrition and the globalists are in it for the long haul. No pun intended. Yep, you're right. Silvio says it's not a point of trust. It's a point of he has info that incriminates a lot of fraud. Yeah, well, when I talk about trust, it's like, because correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's called Neuralink, that he's trying to do brain mechanics with AI technology, or not AI technology, but advanced technology that can supposedly help people that have never been able to see their entire life. He has confidence that his technology can restore a lot of disabilities and problems with brain function, with the caveat being that it's connected to the internet. So there's a lot of, I know, conspiracy theories flying around that, but that seems to be the question for people. Can we trust him to not be a psycho or just a dangerous person? But I think for me, I like to judge people on their actions. And right now, I like what he's doing. He's opening the back gate. Now, just while we're on the subject, there's things that I wish he would do. Now, regardless of what we think of certain people, like this week, I've used examples of Ye, like Kanye West. I don't know I know his new name is Ye, but I don't know if it's Ye West still. I don't know. But Kanye West and Alex Jones, regardless of what we think of them, I really think it's still important. If he cares about freedom of speech and getting all the information out there so we can make good decisions, he needs to give them their voice back. That's my opinion. Regardless of what we think of them, if we think they're wrong or over the top, people need to know how crazy they are so that they can make fully informed decisions. Now, I say that because Elon has refused to allow Alex Jones back. I don't know why. I'm open-minded to know why, But I think if you're going to do freedom of speech, you got to let everyone, regardless of who they are, what they believe. That's my 2 cents. Mike says, the dog's taking me out for a walk. Back in 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, you got to wear rollerblades. Less of an effort. Valerie, LOL, Mike. Yeah. I don't have a dog. My brothers have dogs. I don't have a dog. My allergies are horrible. I had dogs when I was little, but I think just being a parent is enough, to be honest with you. Yeah. So let's what I want to ask you guys. Actually, no, we already covered that because we already talked about Fauci and how he lied to Congress, but it would be nice if I could bring that up. I know I'm not going to bring that up just because it would take me too long to bring it up, trying to find the clips. But I guess my question was going to be, do you guys fully believe that Fauci actually lied in Congress? Because right now it seems like everybody's quiet on the left and everybody on the fence is quiet. Like, why isn't there more people saying, yeah, like he absolutely did lie to Congress? Like, this is wrong. Like, I don't see people doing that besides people who have always thought he was a liar. So I don't know. What's it going to take? What's it going to take to get people to believe? Can be frustrating. Let me I just really enjoy hanging out on Elon's page. I think it's because I'm a fan of controversy. I'm gonna read your comment here in a second, Valerie. I just gotta open this. Boom and boom. All right. Bring that up, and then I'll go back to your comment. Oh, Leaf Nurse is here. Hey, Leaf Nurse. Elon stated that his son died in his arms and he can't someone that denies the death of children. This is paraphrased, but that is the basics of why Elon won't allow Alex Jones back. There is a video. Oh, okay. So in terms of the Sandy Hook, see, well, that's completely horrible. Now I've seen videos surfacing that show, Sandy Hook and them asserting that it didn't happen. Now I don't even have an opinion on that. I don't see the value in bringing that up. Well, I guess if you're someone who truly believes it was a setup, you think there's value in bringing that up, but it's not something I don't think we can absolutely prove. I think it'd be hard. Like the evidence I saw was people like using a video clip of one of the family members smiling during an interview. I'm like, really? Is that all the evidence you have? Like, to me, I think it's very weak. But again, I don't know it. But for me, I just think even if it's that horrible, get it out. Let's prove Alex Jones wrong. Let's prove that he's a moron for saying that. Or if he's not, then we have some things to learn. But that's my point of view. It's not that I support it. His twisted thing. I think he is a bit twisted on some things. And I think his downfall is he speaks too quickly. That's something I think I am good at because I speak slowly, so I have time to really mean what I say and not regret anything I say. Well, most of the time at least. But yeah. So that was Leafner. Sorry, I meant to put your comment on the screen. Valerie says, off topic, but regarding MAID, how will life insurance work? Would the policy still be valid? I'm not too sure. That's a good question. If anybody has that answer, I would be interested in knowing. Good question. Support. Okay. That was a correction. Gotcha. All right, let's go hang out with Elon here. Like I said, this guy just posts like a teenager so often. And like I said was before, I think it's because I don't enjoy controversy, but I see so much value in controversy that I love seeing people make waves and bring up important conversation. I think that's what he's been doing well at. Now I know he adds his own flavor and color to it by kind of being cheeky. Like he says, the woke mind virus is either defeated or nothing else matters. Yeah, the Branch Covidians are upset. Yeah. Interesting guy. Interesting guy. Well, that's really all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to download your guys' thoughts. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I won't make this too long today, but expect a video drop either today or tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about just a provincially, locally, I guess, a couple cities to the, where am I? Sarnia, to the east in Hamilton, Ontario. There's some breaking news that I wanted to share, and feel free to leave your guys' comments in the disc or in the comments of that video, because it's a sensitive topic. It's to do with suicide, not necessarily assisted suicide, but suicide in regards to the LGBT community, and who do we blame? They always like to say it's us that cause stuff like that, and I think that's unfair. So I break that down as I'm a Bible believing Christian, and I've been accused of that here locally, like because of your beliefs, because of the things you stand for, it causes violence. And then I break that down. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Valerie says, why would Elon, let me enhance that. Why would Elon buy Twitter when he could just create his own platform? Well, they already have the following. Like I don't even know if you guys know, but Donald Trump has his own network right now. It's called like Truth Social, but I don't hear too many people talking about it. So he bought the reputation as well. I just wonder about it. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, even building something from the ground up, especially in terms of audiences, like just YouTube is a good example. If I was to try to start another YouTube channel, it's next to impossible. Like you really got to grind it, and unless you hit the right topic at the right time during a very heated time in your country, like the trucker convoy, me for example, that's exactly what happened. I'm no special. I'm no special speaker or anything. Like I don't think I'm very smart at all, but I got lucky because the trucker convoy was just enhanced so many people's emotions. People were desperate, looking for coverage, and so I just became one of those people that gave coverage. And that's really how channels do well, by tapping into those moments. And yeah, Lynn B says, if a policy is less than 2 years, it will not pay for a death. Here, 1 second. I need to stop sharing my screen. There we go. If a policy is less than 2 years and will not pay for a death by suicide and will only return paid premiums. Okay. Thank you, Lynn, for researching that so quickly. Yeah. Valerie says, bought the brand, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he bought the brand because building something from the ground up is next to impossible. Like, people always ask, why don't you go over to Rumble? Well, there's a couple reasons. I think Rumble is just hard to get off the ground. And for me, it's preaching to the choir. I'm always trying to get people that are on the fence, or right. So, I mean, it is a great, I use Rumble all the time, but it seems like the people that do well they already have a following somewhere else. That's what it seems to be. Boom. He bought a crime scene. Yeah, that's exactly what Elon said. Bought a crime scene. Social media is a crime scene. MyTube, WeTube. Are those all things? We all tube. Oh, me too, WeTube, we all tube. Okay. I'm not sure what you're getting at, but I thought maybe that was like a little nursery rhyme there. Policies may be canceled. Okay. Thank you, Lynn. She's my resource gal, providing all the links. Wow, do is a big money thing. Do is a big. So is a big money thing. Oh, so it's a big money thing. Yeah, well, even with Rumble, it costs. Like if I want to do live streams, it's a monthly cost, so it's pretty pricey for young chumps like me to be on there. There's just for me, it's just too many disadvantages that like I wouldn't get a lot of return out of it. I mean, I guess I could talk freely about anything I want, but again, it's preaching to the choir. So we'd kind of be just talking about things we already know. Lynn B. Elon bought a crime scene more so than a social media. That's right. Yep. So it seems to be a money thing. Okay, cool. Thanks for clarifying. I'm very guilty of putting typos and sending it before I read it over too. So don't feel bad. Elon is dropping the Fauci files at some point today. I can't wait to see what they found. Man, that'll be juicy. Replacing YouTube. Gotcha. Well, right on, folks. Thank you for joining me today. I think I'm going to tap off or tap out, whatever. I appreciate you guys coming by, having a little conversation. That was fun. And I do this every single Monday. If you're new here, I do this every Monday, same time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And please just make sure, even if you think you're subscribed, make sure you're subscribed because some people, they report to me, they say, Brandon, I don't know what happened, but I got unsubscribed. Silvio says, can't wait to see if they're Canada files. That'd be nice. There probably is. Don't stop, Elon. Keep it going. PDS says the rats are all running and hiding. Yep. That's why they're all playing nothing to see here. They're scared. I would be. And for me, I always say this, it's so hard if you're someone who is vocal the entire like the whole pandemic or during the whole Trump era, if you were someone who very much vocal against all things that like people like us tend to stand for, it's so much harder to take it back. Yet if you were someone who stood back and didn't say anything the whole time, it's easier to switch your opinion, right? The fence riders is what I call them, the people that are watching from the shadows, watching from the wings. So Valerie, hey Lynn, the Trump files were bad. He was definitely robbed of his election. And no, I'm not a Trump fan, but I am a fan of the truth. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Unfortunately, I will neither confirm nor deny. Hear that, YouTube? Hi, Valerie. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks again. Thank you again. Please subscribe. Be on the lookout for my new video. I'll be editing that today after I get some voiceover work done, which, by the way, if you need a voiceover, here's a cheap plugin. BrandonMcCaskill.com. You can see some of the work that I've done. I love doing what I do. And or if you're just curious and want to go see how my work sounds, you can go look that up. BrandonMcCaskill.com. Banana peel. Oh, that's because Lynn's got the banana symbol on her flag. Good day to all, says Silvio. Great to have you. Please know that YouTube takes 30% of all donations. We are not government sponsored. Every dollar helps. Please help support the channel. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you guys feel led to, actually, I'll kind of give you guys a little, I don't know if I should say it. Now I got it because I just insinuated that something exciting's happening. But we have someone in our mix. We're going to be kind of chatting with her as an addition to this channel. Someone local, someone that's pretty close to Brooke and myself, because on this channel, I like to kind of talk about the cultural and the national stuff, where she likes to talk about international stuff and Brooke talks about local. So I think she'd be a great addition. I'm not going to give her name because we don't know if it's set in stone, but it's something we're entertaining. And so that'll probably be something we look further into after the holidays. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how it's going to go. Valerie says, post the link. Oh, to my website? Yeah, brandonmccaskill.com. If someone wants to do that for me, because I can't use this computer. It's just too difficult for me. It's the new Canana. How do you say that? Canana flag, because we're the new banana republic of the North. Now I'm jealous. You have a woman in your lives other than me. Well, I always did. I have the most beautiful wife in the world. And yes. So sorry, Len. I love you. Valerie. Yeah, there we go, Valerie. There's the Banana Republic flag. Awesome. Well, I'm jumping off. Thanks again. Take care. Bye for now.